Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be interviewing a cast member of the original 1980 classic Friday the 13th, and I am talking about Robbi Morgan. Yes, the beautiful curly brown-haired girl that's in Friday the 13th. She's trying to get to Camp Crystal Lake, and then she gets slaughtered on the way over. Annie Phillips was her name, of course. And I'm having her on the show today, going to talk about that. She was a child actress. She was in a couple movies before that. She was in a musical called What's the Matter with Helen with Debbie Reynolds and Shelley Winters. She did a movie with Al Pacino. That was her first movie, and his first movie as well. And she even played the bear in The Great Outdoors, which is a fucking insane notion, but it's true. And I'm going to find out how and why she did that today. And it's going to be pretty cool. She seems like a really sweet person. I've listened to her in other interviews and stuff. And we'll see. And so here is my interview with Robbi Morgan. Hi, Robbi.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, thanks for being so patient with me.
Oh.
I've been traveling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just got back in last night, so it's hectic.
Yeah, oh no, it's my pleasure. I mean, Friday the 13th is my favorite slasher movie of all time, and I'm willing to wait for you.
Where am I calling? Where's 530?
Redding, California.
Oh, that's not that far. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have, what did you say, you have a podcast, or?
Yeah, podcast.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Cool.
So yes, it's such an honor. I thank you so much for taking the time this morning.
Oh, my pleasure. Let's do this.
So, you were a child actress. At what age did you get bitten by the acting bug?
Well, the funny thing about that is that I was a child actress by the age, like 5 years old, I was working. So I did a little television show with Rock Hudson when I was 5, and I was already like going on auditions and everything for commercials, and because my whole family was in show business. My older brothers were already in show business, and so it wasn't necessarily getting bitten by the showbiz bug. It was what our family did. Mm-hmm. So it was just normal, Yeah. It was a normal thing in my life to be following in the footsteps of my brothers, and that's just what we did. We, worked in show business. So I felt, happy to be a part of it,
Mm-hmm. Did you do plays in school?
No. I didn't necessarily do plays in school because when I was 6.5 years old, I was doing an off-Broadway show, and all the kids from school were getting on buses and coming and seeing my show. So I didn't really do plays in school because I was in school, but I was not a regular school. Like, doing the show that I was doing was all, like, every single day, 8 shows a week. So, it was more about that than, like, they would come to my school and do interviews while I was sitting in my classroom for the paper and stuff like that. It was crazy. It wasn't a normal childhood.
It doesn't sound like it, no.
Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would go and do things, like, when I think back about my childhood, I would think, in 3rd grade, I did a nightclub act with, in Vegas. In 4th grade, I did a movie with, which is also, by the way, a horror movie. I did a horror movie when I was 9 years old with Debbie Reynolds and Shelley Winters, so I had to leave, school and go to California to do that movie. And then, so when I think back about my childhood, it was like that. Oh, yeah, third grade, I was doing this. Fourth grade, I was doing that. I don't think back about my childhood and go, oh, yeah, I had such and such a teacher for that year, and I was learning my, my school things,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think about it like that. I think, oh, yeah, 1971, that was a great year. I did that movie with Debbie Reynolds and Shelley Winters, and I met all the Beverly Hillbillies, because the Beverly Hillbillies was shooting on the same
soundstage.
The studio where I was shooting that movie. That's where all the Beverly Hillbillies was taping. So, man, that was a thrill for me as a kid. Do you even know what the Beverly Hillbillies television show?
Yeah, I watched that show all the time. I saw the movie in the theater. I love the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, yeah. So I got to meet all of them, and that was like, that was such a thrill,
Mm-hmm.
To hang out with, the Clampets.
The Clampets, yeah. So, according to your IMDb, you were in Al Pacino's first movie.
I don't think I was. What movie is that?
Me, Natalie.
Al Pacino was in that movie?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize that. Well, yes, I played Patty Duke as a child in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, I should watch that movie again. I haven't seen that movie in years and years and years. I should take a peek at it. I didn't have a big part in it, but I definitely played Patty Duke as a little girl. I think it was a flashback or whatever it was, and I was her. So, Al Pacino was in that movie?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
Wow, I guess I can't ask you now if you saw a spark in him back then.
No, it was a funny, oh man, that movie was, they shot that movie in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And they shot it in July, and it was really, really, really hot out
in
Brooklyn, and it was supposed to be winter, so, I had on a raincoat and rain boots, and I was hot, and that's what I remember, and my scene was under the bed, so it was not an easy couple of days when I did that movie. They were trying to make it look like it was winter. It was swelteringly hot.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway.
And then you did What's the Matter with Helen?
Yeah, What's the Matter with Helen was fun.
Yeah. Wow, I mean, you got Debbie Reynolds, Shelley Winters, Dennis Weaver, Agnes Moorehead. I mean, were you intimidated at all?
Well, not really, because, I don't know if you've had a chance to see What's the Matter with Helen.
I haven't.
But, have you?
I haven't, no.
Well, you should watch it. It's a really creepy, scary horror movie. But I was not intimidated because, there was Debbie Reynolds in the movie. Debbie Reynolds has a dancing school.
Mm-hmm.
And so our scenes with Debbie Reynolds, we would go in and we would dance a little bit. I had the woman playing my mother in the movie was great. And then two of the little girls got to do little special numbers. One little girl was Shirley Temple, and the other girl was Mae West. And so I got to do the Mae West number. And for me, it was really fun because I got to work with a very famous choreographer, and I was singing and doing this number. And, I didn't get to do really any scenes with Agnes Moorehead or Dennis Weaver. They were there, of course. Shelley Winters was there because they would keep us away from Shelley Winters because she was a bit crazy in the movie.
Yeah.
And Shelley Winters was the type of actress that really, really, put herself, in the role, and they didn't want the kids bothering her at all. So they sort of kept us separate from her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, So it wasn't intimidating because, it was, for us kids, it was fun. We were working, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun to be doing that movie. So I never ever thought of it as intimidating. I mean, I'm sure if I had a scene with, a more dramatic scene, it might have been intimidating. But you prepare. When you're an actress, you prepare, you rehearse. It's work. It's the work that you know how to do.
Yeah.
So when I got that movie, it was, oh man, we were coming to California, and my brother lives here, and it was a really fun time getting to go to California to do the movie. And
nice.
So being intimidated didn't ever cross my mind. It was like, wow, this is going to be fun,
Yeah. I interviewed this one actress. She told me she did a movie once with Alan Arkin, and she said to him, "Mr. Arkin, I'm moving to Hollywood. Do you have any advice for me?" And he said, "Yeah, don't work with Shelley Winters."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, she was an amazing actress.
Yeah, she was.
It's funny that you bring up Alan Arkin because my brother Gary was in a movie with Poppy.
Uh-huh.
And Alan Arkin came to see the little show that I was, the off-Broadway show that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
I have a picture with him, after the show. So
Nice.
we were all young, when I met Alan Arkin.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, why was that your last movie until Friday the 13th?
Well, let's see. So I did What's the Matter with Helen, and I was at like 9 going on 10. I might have been 10 when I did What's the Matter with Helen. And then a terrible thing happened that happens to a lot of kids. When you get to be about 11 or 12, there is like a time when you don't work.
Oh, yeah.
You're kind of in an awkward stage of your life. You're not a kid anymore, and you're not a grown up yet. You're a teenager, and
Right.
so I didn't work for those years. I didn't work from the time I was like 11 till I was 15, and those were probably some of the hardest times of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't work. They sent me back to the 5th grade. As if I was a regular kid. And I really needed, I didn't need to go back to school. I needed a job, a cup of coffee, and a cigarette. That's a joke that I always make. It was a really difficult time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Those years when I wasn't working. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I started really auditioning again when I was 16 years old and started doing commercials again and commercials, and then I auditioned for Friday the 13th, and I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And, at the time, it was a very, very low-budget movie.
Right.
And I was very excited to have gotten it, but the role of Annie wasn't really a big part at the time when I auditioned. I think Sean made it a little bit bigger for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think he liked me and made the part bigger. And so at the audition, I didn't even have anything to read. Like I didn't have any lines to learn or to do a scene. It was all sort of improv at the audition.
Yeah.
And he liked me, and he gave me the job.
Wow.
Well, boy, am I a lucky girl, because that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, you're such a memorable presence in the movie because you were so cute and tan, and you had this upbeat personality. And I love how you keep saying Camp Crystal Lake.
Right. How do I get to Camp Crystal Lake from here? Right. Yeah, it was. I was a little bit tan, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I think right before I did the movie, I was visiting my brother in California, and then Sean Cunningham, called me in LA and said, are you going to be joining us? And I was like, absolutely. Absolutely. And so I did that movie. I did it right after I came back to California. So I was 10. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite slasher movie of all time. It was the first one I saw when I was 8 years old, and I just fell in love with it. I mean, HBO and Cinemax and USA Up All Night used to play it like all the time, and they used to play this and the sequels and stuff, and I just loved it. It was just, I like it as much as I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween. I love Friday the 13th the most.
Well, I hear that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that a lot. There are some movies that just, I know it's a slasher movie and it's kind of crazy, but there's just some movie and some characters that are in the movie that it's like comfort food. You just like to have it on in the background of whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
You just love, you know all the lines and you know all the characters. You just love having it on. I mean, I've got movies like that.
Mm-hmm.
That I just love having on. And whenever it's on, I watch it.
Wow, I
know everything about it.
Never hear an actor say that.
Really?
Oh, actors don't like watching themselves.
Oh, well, no. There are other movies that I like watching.
Oh.
I wouldn't necessarily have Friday the 13th on all the time. I have other movies that I love having on as comfort food.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a horror movie watcher.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Was Crazy Ralph that scary in person?
He was an amazing actor because he was such a sweet, sweet man.
Mm-hmm.
And in person he was very quiet and very, kept to himself. But man, he turned, when that scene when I'm walking up to the luncheonette,
mm-hmm.
that was very real because he just became a very scary character.
Yeah.
He became that guy, and it was oh my God, he was so creepy. Everything about him was creepy.
Yeah.
So he was terrific. He was really a good actor. In person, he wasn't like that at all.
Yeah. He told the truth. People were going to be killed.
Yes.
Rex Everhart, he was the truck driver. I mean, he had been around since the 50s. Did he have any stories?
Oh, he was another great actor. It was such a weird... I don't have a lot of stories because when we were shooting, we were just... I was there for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were all hanging out, waiting to do our scenes.
Right.
And then we did our scenes, and that was it. So I wish I had more stories,
Mm-hmm.
But he was the nicest guy to work with, and very professional, and very professional. And while we were working, we hung out, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last year, I was at Monsterpalooza in Pasadena, and Adrian King was there, and Tom Savini, and Harry Manfredini, and Ari Lehman, and they all signed my DVD cover. And when I was meeting Ari, he's in the middle of signing my DVD cover, and Kane Hodder comes up and pinches his elbow, and he smears his name on my DVD cover. And
oh no!
Yeah, and I said, okay, if I don't meet Kane Hodder this weekend because his line was super long, if I don't meet him this weekend, I'm gonna count that as his autograph.
Oh,
Oh, he couldn't because just the L in his name was just smeared across the cover, and it was okay. I mean, there was plenty of room left for everyone to sign. So.
Oh, and that's kind of a cool story. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny, and Adrienne, I've interviewed her on the podcast. I am just in awe of her.
She's a nice. She's really a nice girl, isn't she?
Oh yes, she is. She is. She's like the aunt I wish I had growing up.
Well, I was just with her because we were just at the camp.
Mm-hmm.
We were just at the camp a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
For the weekend. So I spent a lot of time with her, and she's terrific. She's a great girl.
Mm-hmm. You know that scene in the movie when they're playing the strip Monopoly?
Yeah.
It's my favorite scene, and I told her, me and my friends, we used to play naval Monopoly, where every time somebody won, we'd show each other our belly buttons.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, she thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, a lot of people came out to the camp because they've opened it up for the lot. You can win to go to the Camp Crystal Lake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen the promos and all that about that.
Uh-huh.
Were you satisfied with your death in the movie?
Oh, yeah. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was moving very fast because, it was very low budget. And so we did that death scene once.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Just one take?
You got one take.
Wow.
One take because they were losing the light. It was getting dark. And the blood that Tom Savini was using at the time was kind of not great blood, probably not as good as they use today, and it would stain your skin.
Mm-hmm.
So we shot it once, and then when it was over, I got on the back of his scooter and went to a shower to get the blood off my skin so it wouldn't stain my skin. So that was it. One time.
Wow. Yeah, that scene is magic.
Really?
I like it, yeah.
What's so magical about it?
It's well acted. It looks like, there may have been more takes, but after you told me, I'm not that surprised. I mean, I like it. It's very realistic and natural.
Well, thank you. That whole running in the woods and everything,
Mm-hmm.
the whole improv.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why it does look as natural as it does, because I was really running in the woods and Sean was there, running alongside of me.
Yeah.
Telling me, fall and trip and your leg hurts, and so it was all improv.
Wow.
So, it was fun. It was a lot of fun to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. If I could be killed by Jason, I just would like to be tickled to death.
Well, Jason wasn't killing me. It was his mother.
Yeah. Well, either Jason or Mrs. Voorhees.
Right. Right. And she wasn't anywhere in sight. It was Tasso who was chasing me.
Oh, Tasso Stavrakis.
Right.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah,
He was the one chasing me, and he was the one who did the killing.
I've been trying to find that guy for an interview for quite some time. He's like nowhere to be found.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea where he is, where he lives, or what he does, or, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm supposed to interview John Amplis pretty soon. I'll ask him if he knows.
Oh, wait, who are you interviewing?
John Amplis, who did all the George Romero movies with Tasso and Tom Savini.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And I also see you did an episode of The Fall Guy.
Yes. I did an episode of The Fall Guy, and I played Tony Curtis's daughter.
Yeah.
And I just wish that I would have worked with Tony Curtis so I could have met him, but I didn't.
Oh, my God.
I didn't ever get to meet him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I interviewed an actress who worked with him back in the late 70s, and she said she was mentored by him, and he was just a great guy. And, when she hears all the stories about him and Jamie Lee not being close and stuff, it's hard for her to believe, but she said she was mentored by him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet him.
Wow. What was it like working with Lee Majors and everybody?
Gosh, that was another very fast, job that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the phone with Tony Curtis, but of course he wasn't really on the phone.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, that was so long ago. I can't even remember meeting everybody on the set. I don't even know if I met Lee Majors. I just went in and did my little scene, and I was done. That was crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that is crazy. But one thing I'm very intrigued about, how on earth did you get to play the bear in the great outdoors?
Oh my gosh. Well, my brother Gary he's an actor and he's also a stuntman.
Mm-hmm.
And not only does he do stunts, he doubles animals.
Mm-hmm.
My brother Gary was doubling the bear.
Mm-hmm.
He had the bear suit.
Yeah.
And so he couldn't make it on one of the days. And he asked me if I wanted to do it. So I was sort of like, oh yeah, sure. I'll do it for you. Day's work, day's pay. And I didn't realize I was going to have to be in the suit. Like, I had never put the suit on.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how that happened. He couldn't make it. This is an interesting story. He also doubled the dog in Cujo.
Really?
Yeah.
I was interviewing Dee Wallace the other day.
Yeah. My brother Gary was in the dog suit. As, he was Cujo. Because I didn't want the dog to get hurt, and all those, jumping in through the window of the car and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That was my brother.
Wow.
And he also doubled the kangaroo in the movie Matilda. It was Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
So I've got a very colorful family.
You sure do.
Yeah. My niece Bonnie's also doubles Samara in the Ring.
Oh. Wow.
She doubled her in the first movie. She's the girl climbing out of the well.
Mm-hmm.
That creepy crawl.
Yeah.
If you've seen it, that's my niece, my brother Gary's daughter. And then in the third movie, she's Samara. She plays Samara.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Wow. So you were the bear that got shot in the ass?
No. The only part that I'm the bear is in the scene that Dan Aykroyd is talking to the bear in the woods.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's me.
I know that scene, yeah.
That's me in the bear suit.
Me and my mom, we love that movie. We watched it probably about 7 months ago, and we were still laughing like we did 30 years ago when it came out and stuff. We love John Candy, and we love Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, yeah. They're terrific. So funny.
Was John Hughes on the set?
Oh, gosh. It was a very, very, very hectic set, and all I remember is just doing the scene with Dan Aykroyd. He was sitting on a tree stump, and they brought in the bear, which was me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing the scene. I don't remember anything other than that. I did that scene, and I was done.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And Howard Deutsch directed it.
Yeah, I don't remember too much. I wasn't too happy about being in the bear suit.
It was really sweaty and hot.
What?
It was really sweaty and hot.
Yeah, just not anything I ever wanted to do again.
Oh, boy.
To play the bear.
Oh boy. So you
So
took
there's nothing like it.
yeah. So you took a long break after that, right?
I did. What year was that? What year was that movie?
88.
It was 88. Wow. I did. I got married in 1987,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did take a break. I was doing a lot of stage work though at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do musicals because I love to sing and dance.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing different little stage things here in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got pregnant with my son.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing a production of West Side Story where I was playing anybody in like 1990,
Mm-hmm.
91, got pregnant and had my son in 92. So I did take a long break right in those years. That was a weird time for me too.
And you married Marky Mark.
No, not Marky Mark.
I know, just similar names.
I married. It's funny that my husband has, his name is Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
He had the name first before, while Marky Mark was still out there, not really working.
Right.
And it's so crazy. But my husband Mark has a big show coming out in January called Temptation Island.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to keep a lookout for that in January on the USA Network. It's going to be great.
Wow.
It's a reboot of a show he did years ago on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're bringing it back, and it's going to be on in January.
Nice. I'm going to definitely check that out.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah. Do you ever get invited to conventions?
I do conventions. I do a handful of conventions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go to all of them because I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
And this last month for Palooza, I was in Maui while my husband was shooting this television show, so I didn't fly back for months for Palooza. Did you go?
I had to skip both of them this year, unfortunately, but I'm definitely going next year, and I'm going to bring my mother with me.
Oh, great. Where's it going to be next year?
In Pasadena, and then they do the Burbank one in the fall.
Oh, I see. So what time of year is the one in Pasadena?
In April.
In April. It must be huge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Okay. I go to both of them. I don't really like the Burbank one much because that hotel is very small and there's no elbow room. But Pasadena has so much elbow room at that convention center, and it's so beautiful, and it's like magic when you walk in there because it's just a horror fan's paradise, And not only do they have celebrities signing there, you could run into celebrities just hanging out there. It's so crazy.
Well, right, because everybody lives here.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Ron Jeremy there every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fun. That's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I hope they invite everybody back again next year. That would be great. That'd be great if they invited you.
Let's see, April. I'll have to keep my ears open for that one. Is that where you met Adrian?
Yes.
In Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, what else, Tommy?
Do you have anything upcoming you want to plug?
I am working on a little web series about my life that I'm going to be, putting together, and I'm not sure where it's going to land, whether it's going to be on, YouTube or it's going to be on Facebook. I don't know where it's going to land yet, but that's what I'm working on, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's because I do have such a colorful life that I want to share it with everybody. I sing and I dance, and I want to just, so that's what I'm working on.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
I hope that turns out successful for you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And I thank you so much for your time today, Robbi. And I hope, like I said, I hope I get to meet you next year at a convention. And I hope you have happy holidays and a great day today.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you all, thank you so much for all those well wishes. And I wish the same right back at you. And look for me. Look for me at Monsterpalooza. Maybe I'll be there. Who knows? You never know.
Yes, I will.
and come and say hello.
I sure will.
All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
Stay out of the woods, Tommy.
I will.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Robbi Morgan. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Robbi. You really are a sweetheart, and I thank you for your well wishes as well. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.